Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be speaking with such a distinguished group of innovators, experts, and leaders in the field. Smart cities used to be a concept for the future, but they are now a reality, transforming the way we all live, interact, and work. Off the bat, a number of people have been asking me, let me admit it now. Yes, I am indeed a physician. I'm an anesthesiologist and an intensivist. I've been practicing that in the UK and the US for a while, over 4 decades actually, until the president, our graceful president, pulled me 2 years ago to come and head this important agency to help push forward industrialization in Nigeria and also seek for foreign direct investment. Most of you might also not know that I have a strong bond with Kenya, Nairobi. There's a school not far from here that I attended many years ago. You get a prize from the organizers if you can spot me in that picture. The Kenyans, a couple of Kenyans here who have seen this picture should not answer that question. But I'm the second one standing to the right of the picture next to Amit. I'm the one with the afro. And right in the front, in the center, you see 3 gentlemen. The 2 guys on either side, they're identical twins. They're my younger brothers. And the young man in the middle, can anybody identify him? Kenyans, Thomas from Tatu City, don't speak. David from NEPZA, don't speak. The young man in the middle is Uhuru Kenyatta, your president in Kenya. So, Karibu, Kenya. Now, special economic zones and smart cities I experienced in Nigeria. As you can see, my keynote address has no subject. About 10 days, maybe 2 weeks ago, I got this text from one of the organizers. And it basically tells me what I'm supposed to do while I'm standing here. I'm supposed to share insights on Nigeria's success story with our free zone scheme. So let me tell you, get into it right quickly in the next 15 minutes. The Nigeria Export Processing Zones Authority was formed by a military decree in 1992, and the mandate was to license, establish, support, and regulate free trade zones in Nigeria. Now you see, I've put 2 asterisks there on support and regulate. We wear 2 hats. We have to support free trade zones. We have to make them successful. We have to help them by being a one-stop shop between government agencies. We make it easy for them to do their business. That's the support part. On the other side, we also have to regulate them because the free zone scheme is a global scheme and it's a handshake between the indigenous citizens of a country and investors who have come into that country to take advantage of tax incentives and customs duty waivers. Now, because our bill was enacted in 1992, we have come up with a Special Economic Zones Commission bill, which is going through the parliament at the moment with some modern and contemporary changes to the previous old bill. Quick recap. Special economic zones are designated areas within a country that offer favorable economic policies, infrastructure, regulations to attract investment and promote economic growth. Like I said earlier, tax incentives, customs duty waivers. In Nigeria, we have a few other things we add. We don't allow any union activity in the free zone for the first 10 years. We allow you 100% ownership, and you can repatriate 100% of your profits as an incentive. So we give you a lot, but we expect quite a bit in return. Let me just go through the free zones we have in Nigeria. We have probably about 60. I say probably because some of them are dormant and their licenses are inactive and they're waiting to become activated or be taken off the scheme. But we are diversified in the free zones. These are the manufacturing free zones that are predominantly focused on manufacture. Calabar and Kano, number 1 and 2, were the first 2 free zones in Nigeria. And again, we're in a unique position because we operate and manage those 2 zones as well as regulate ourselves. The FZEs, that's the free zone enterprises. The companies, we call them enterprises that are based inside that particular free zone. Some of these free zone enterprises may be small companies. Some of them are actually quite huge companies. Lagos Free Trade Zone is owned by the Toleram Group, which is a Singapore family. And they also own the Lekki Deep Sea Port, which is disrupting the logistics network along the West African coast. It was just opened about a year ago. Lekki Free Trade Zone is a joint state, public, and private partnership. Well, it's actually public and public because the Lagos state government in partnership with the Chinese government. The Chinese government owns 60% of it, the Lagos state government owns 40%. In Nigeria, is divided into 36 states, autonomous states, with an independent executive governor, rather like the American system. The Ogun Guangdong is, again, a partnership between the Ogun state government and the Chinese government. They have 70 free zone enterprises. Seplas is an Indian gentleman, he's a private individual, and he manufactures a lot of plastics. Bundu Free Trade Zone is owned by a Nigerian gentleman by the name of Alhaji Samad, and is predominantly a sugar refinery. And then, of course, the flour mills of Nigeria, who make all the pasta and who exist in the free zone territory and also outside the free zone territory. These are the service-orientated ones. Tinapa Free Zone Resort, you might have heard of that one. It was a tourist-focused free zone. The other ones, newest airline, they're based really around the airport. But I will talk a bit more about Eco Atlantic and Alaro City Free Zone. Quits Aviation, it involves in aircraft maintenance. Aircraft come from different parts of the world to be maintained there. And the other one is just an airport handling company. We also have a few oil and gas free zones. Lador Free Zone is a logistics zone where they focus really on ship repairs and maintenance. There's the AHL Energy Free Zone, and of course, you will all have known or heard of the Dangote Industrial Free Zone, especially because of the Dangote refinery, which is the biggest refinery in the world, producing 650,000, processing 650,000 barrels of crude oil every day, and also has a petrochemical side, also has a fertilizer side, with the production, I think is the second largest producer of fertilizers in the world. We have a couple of agricultural free trade zones. There are more than that. In the last couple of years, as we're diversifying the Nigerian economy, we're moving to what we call special agricultural processing zones with a lot of assistance from the African Development Bank. So the two I've written there, there's actually about 6 or 8 more. Some of them are not within the free zone scheme. Now, I pulled up this map. It was very colorful. The idea was the list of zones on the side, they were trying, whoever designed the map, the intention was to localize those zones on the map. So I pulled it up. But when I looked at it, it's very wrong in many areas, especially in the lower left-hand side, in the Lagos area. The zones are all mislocated. But, and I still don't know why the colors are yellow or blue or green. What's the relationship between those states? So to be honest, I would totally disregard this colorful picture. But it does show at the bottom part, you have the Atlantic Ocean, and to the left of the map of Nigeria, you've got the whole West African coast with the ECOWAS countries, which are going to be strategic when we start to regionally integrate the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. So for now, just forget about that slide. How do special economic zones relate to smart cities? Well, by integrating industrial parks, oh yes, I didn't mention, we have a couple of industrial parks, which was not in those slides. One particular one to mention, and you all will have heard of Arise, Integrated Industrial Platform. They have industrial parks all over Africa. I signed their license just last year, and they're in the developmental stage, and they're bringing in FDI. They've assured us of an FDI of $4.5 billion. There's also another industrial park located in the capital of Nigeria, in Abuja, called the Abuja Industrial Park. This company was, when they started their work, was opened by the opposition leader in the British Parliament, Mrs. Kemi Badenoch. It's a British company that's running this industrial park, and is managed and directed by a Turkish gentleman. They have promised to invest about $250 million, and they're again in the developmental stage. So look, this is how special economic zones can relate to smart cities. If you want to have a smart city, ride on the benefits of a special economic zone. There are lots of advantages. Let me quickly go through these potential smart cities in Nigeria. This one is in Ilorin. I will show you on that colorful map, but I've already said we should disregard the map, so I'm not going to go back to it. This is promising to be probably Nigeria's most livable city. It spans 20,000 hectares and is to host about 500,000 residents, just over 500,000 residents. It's designed to be a sustainable and technology-driven urban settlement, prioritizing a 15% green space with 50 square meters of green space per individual. I wasn't aware, but apparently those are WHO recommendations. 50 square meters of green space per individual. This city will be using a lot of renewable energy, including a 50 megawatt solar power park. That's pretty big. They're going to incorporate intelligent transportation, smart waste management, high-speed internet, smart security. It will comprise of a business district, administrative and industrial parks, healthcare facilities, entertainment resorts, residential areas, commercial districts, and green parks. The plan is to have this done over the next 9 to 10 years, and I believe phase 1 has already started. But this is a key important one because this has already been going on for a few years, Eco-Atlantic. Any of this, you can always pull up on your phone and supplement what I'm saying to you. Eco-Atlantic is unique in a way. Our president, President Tinubu, loves to refer to this particular city as the city that tamed the Atlantic Ocean. About 15 years ago, millions of gallons of saltwater Atlantic Ocean was bashing the southern coastline of Lagos every second. The beach that I used to play on when I was a child was long gone. And the waves were now beginning to encroach on the road and the solid land. It was an emergency. A company, South Energix, and a private group, the Shaguri Group, came up with a plan. And a lot of technology involved. This is 2005, 2008, thereabouts. They now had to build a wall with heavy 2-ton stones. I think it's a couple of kilometers. It's called the Lagos Great Wall. That was successful in damping the ocean surge. And then what did they do next? They started dredging sand and filling up the land in between, and then compacting it. There's a process to compact it over a couple of years. And then they came up with the design, structure, and plan for Eco-Atlantic City. Yeah, it's about 1,000 hectares, strategically located. It also is home to this thing I pulled out, says United States largest embassy in Africa. That's not true. A lot of things you read, they're just not true sometimes. It's the largest United States consular embassy in the whole world. And that's based in Eco-Atlantic. It's fast developing now. If you go online, you'll see current pictures. This is a very short presentation for me. I didn't want to flood you with pictures. This is supposed to be a before and after. All that water you're seeing in the top picture, that used to be a beach that I played on. I won't tell you the year. But that was, the ocean was blocked, and it was filled with sand, and the city was created. It's part of the plan. A lot of these are already coming up. It's going to be quite, with a lot of smart activities as well, you know. Probably the smartest of the lot is Alaro City, being constructed by our friend from Rendever. I don't think Stephen is here now. He gave his speech yesterday morning, and I have not seen Preston. Oh, how are you doing, Preston? Sorry, good to see you. Alaro City, let me just go through that quickly because I'm running out of time. It's a joint venture with Rendever and the Lagos State government. You can see all those things I've written there. Let me go straight to the point. The very bottom line. Alaro City is home to Itana, Nigeria's first digital free trade zone. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Itana. Okay, this is Alaro City. It's developed beyond these pictures you're seeing. Those businesses at the bottom are located as enterprises on the inside the free zone. Now, 2 days ago, when I was about heading to the airport to fly to Nairobi, somebody sent me this news article on my phone, June 10th. Itana, Nigeria's first digital free zone. This is a picture of the entrance area to Alaro City Free Zone. It's an old picture because it's gone beyond that. And I thought, let me just grab some content in that article. You can always read the article online yourself to show you what is going on with Etana at Alaro City. Oduwole, in the third paragraph, says we've streamlined everything from incorporation to regulation. The process is digital and global from day one. You can set up from Nairobi, London, or Yaba. Yaba is a suburb of Lagos. Oduwole, I think, is the business development director. The space they occupy inside Alaro City Free Trade Zone is a 72,000 square meter mixed-use area. It's under construction, and they're being backed by the African Finance Corporation, who have already committed $100 million to phase one. Those other things there is what's been offered in this particular free trade zone. They've partnered with Future Africa, a co-founder of Flutterwave is involved. Let me tell you something quickly about Flutterwave. Now, Lagos, the city of Lagos was voted about a month or two ago as the fastest rising technological city in the world, just on top of Johannesburg and Kampala. And Flutterwave, Lagos happens to host 5 of financial tech unicorns. You know what a unicorn is? A startup quickly becomes valued at $1 billion. Flutterwave is one of them. There's Jumia, Opay, MoneyPoint, and the 5th one I can't remember. So Lagos is quite a tech city. It's not a smart city, just a high-tech city. This is the sentence I liked in the article, and I decided to put it in my presentation. I like the last part. Nigeria is open for digital business. And this time, we're not playing catch-up. We're setting the pace. Let me quickly round up. Smart cities, advanced waste management, centralized cooling system, efficient transport, special economic zone benefits, I've already mentioned those. In Nigeria, we work closely with the investors. We provide productivity benefits. We prioritize high quality infrastructure and efficient administration. Last word. I say this when I speak anywhere I'm outside the borders of Nigeria, because I like to attract foreign direct investment. This is actually a very good time to invest in Nigeria. We have a large market, population of close to 230 million. 70% of them are under the age of 35. They're very technologically savvy. We have government incentives, like the tax incentives we offer at NEPZA. There's also an investment promotion agency that to help and support any investment. We have natural resources, abundant natural resources, and minerals and solid minerals. And we're strategically located right in the center of that map of Africa to take advantage of the African Continental Trade Agreement. And also we have some opportunities for diversification. Opportunities, growth areas are agriculture. We want to start adding value to our agricultural raw materials. Gone are the days where you export cocoa and it goes to another country and it comes back to you and you buy it as chocolate. Now it's got to be processed in your own country. And that's where I think most African countries have to focus on. We have ginger, we have sorghum, we have cocoa, we have sesame, and agriculture is an open field. Technology, as I mentioned earlier, and of course infrastructure. A lot of help is needed in power supply and manufacturing, especially pharmaceutical manufacturing. Well, I've enjoyed the last 2 days. I hope as an anesthesiologist, I will not put you to sleep, but I've tried to get as much covered as possible. Thank you very much.